Are we live? Of course we're live. People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope everyone's in good spirits. With it being Tuesday, I hope you're all moving that much closer to your goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations, moving through hardship. Of course, you can't do that without good health. So I'd love to wish you all good health and extend that to your loved ones. Like I said, man, I hope you're all doing well and safe. You know, as for myself, I'm doing good, man. One love to everyone who was on, you know, the stream over on Twitch. You know, make sure you're following on Twitch, because on that note, bag of content today. We was online on Twitch from 10 a.m. to around 11. We're here from 11:30 till whenever. From 11:30 past, well, when this live stream is done, obviously 5:20 today and tomorrow. The first Champions League games, group of games that are playing, I'm going to be doing watch along. So I think today we've got Malmo, Chelsea. Then obviously we're heading back over to YouTube after that. Atalanta versus Manchester United. It's in the pinned message. I've put it in the chat. Please make sure, even if you're not there, you hit the like button. Every like does bits for the engagement. And like you saw with our last sort of watch alongs on YouTube and things like that, you lot are the massive reason why we was getting good numbers and we're improving the subscribers and things. Literally every like button makes the difference. So open up another, you know, make sure you open up a few slides on Google Chrome or whatever platform you're using. Set your reminders, hit the like button. I appreciate you lot. Definitely hit the like button where this is concerned. I saw just before I actually started speaking, people, I saw 30, sorry, it might even be 50 now. I saw 30 dislikes. It is what it is, man. I very much doubt there's 30 people who, despite hearing nothing come out of my mouth, dislike the vid. It's probably some hating thing, but yeah, man, if you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. There's 50 odd of you locked in already, so we must be doing something right now. Let me know your opinions on what you make of Dani Ceballos and all these things. You know, Unai Emery seems like he's going to be returning to the Prem. He might, you know, Dani Ceballos reunion in January where Arsenal are concerned. Luis Suarez has spoken about why the move didn't happen. So there's a couple of bits and pieces to get through, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Again, I'm just turning on my fan, people, because it's getting quite hot. And I think I'm getting into that weird mix now where I need the fan on, but I also need my hoodie because it's kind of chilly. You know, this is the day. This is the struggles of being in the studio, people. You've got all these lights beaming off. And then obviously you got shorts and that on as well. So you're cold and hot at the same time. So yeah, me fling on my hoodie. Obviously, before I start to draw for articles and things like that, you lot make this channel for what it is. If it wasn't for you lot, we wouldn't have 42,000 subscribers. We wouldn't be doing the bits and pieces that we're doing, and we're getting better every day. And I've always say it, but I'm very appreciative of the community that we're growing here. You lot drive the engagement levels. You lot drive the content. You say thought-provoking things. You make sure I don't miss anything. You know, it's a privilege. Apologies to be here day in, day out, and it's an honor because, again, you know, I don't watch what other people have and things, but I watch YouTube like a lot of you, and I just think some platforms are just idiots are talking, idiots are speaking, and I think this is you know, it's a very good community where we speak common sense. We all learn of each other. We all have different perspectives, and we don't. Well, I like to think people don't scream and shout and things like that. So it is what it is. What are you lot saying, anyways, man? You know, let me know your opinions on everything. I know everyone's got something to say. Me make sure I've got the Dani Ceballos things loaded because I'm seeing a lot of Dani Ceballos comments. Keep them coming, folks. As I said. Where is that one there? Slap that one all the way over here. Let's make sure we've got that. Where are we going? Big up DG. One love to everyone in the chat. Ceballos or RAMSEY would do in the January transfer window as well as 40 getting a run in Partey's position in January. I'd more want Lokonga there. I feel personally, I think that's where we're, you know, if we are to mount any sort of challenge for, you know, Europe, I feel this is where, assuming we get out of this period from now till January in still in good health and still saying the same things we're saying right now, I think where we're going to let ourselves down is strength in depth. Now, obviously, we don't have much depth. We don't have quality depth. The next ways of evolving this team is obviously, you know, there'll be a world where maybe Ben White has a little niggle or knock or whatever, and someone else steps in and you don't see a drop off in quality. You know, I don't think Arsenal should be ever in a situation where we're missing Granit Xhaka. And it's not being said because we've been winning these games and whatnot. But there was a period, man, we're saying, yo, Granit Xhaka's not there. You know, get into a period where that's not a thing. We need a first 11 first. We need a certified 11 and consistency that comes with that. But we need to be able to chop and change. And there's not too much of a drop off. You know, I can't really speculate on everything. And you saw how Zaha made the difference in his last game against Palace. But they had no Zaha against us. And they looked like they could score goals. You know, Webster and Basuma didn't play a for Brighton. They weren't missing them. So we need to be able to do something like that. And we don't currently have that. And I think that's where we're going to come on short in January because, again, if everybody stays fit, we have a decent squad and with nothing still a given, but we have a chance. It's when you start getting injuries to key players, which this is part and parcel of a season. Tierney's got knocks now. Ben White's been missing due to COVID and he's had illness and things like that. There's going to be a couple more along the way. I'm not too sure I can see why we might be going for Ceballos, because, and I don't want to say the same thing, so I'll repeat it later. Not really with the RAMSEY thing. If you can get RAMSEY on loan, don't mind that. I'd rather him go to Newcastle with Unai Emery, start a little reunion up there. Who knows? Newcastle might try and even buy Xhaka one day. I'm not too sure if Ainsley Maitland-Niles has it in him to play Partey's role. I do think he could be, you know, a sort of ball-winning midfielder, win the ball back, but I don't think he's going to be progressive with the ball. I don't think his positioning is spot on. I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles can be quite reactive, but again, you know, the Martinellis, the Maitland-Nileses, you know, all of these guys, people are getting opportunities, squad players that are on the peripheral things. There's going to be opportunities, whether it's due to COVID, people going to play for countries, opportunities are there. Like you look at Tavares, Tierney probably could have been dropped for form anyways. Now he's struggling with fitness, and personally, I hope he's able to at least be back for Liverpool. Tavares, you've got an opportunity to make sure, you know, Tierney's frustrated and he's on the bench and these things there. You can make that spot your own. You know, first real test, I would say, against Leicester, and he came out of it. Couple nervy moments, but he came out of it. You know, competition should keep everything competitive. If we remain competitive and no one gets complacency, and it's the best cure for complacency, we should be half decent. But I would rather, you know, if you're going to go for Ceballos and RAMSEY, get them in on loan if need be, because we need bodies in midfield. Ideally, stay further away from them than you potentially can. That's just me anyways, really. So yeah, man, hit the like button if you haven't done already. Let me see what else you lot are saying. My man said here for the best intro track on YouTube. I need to get a new one, man. Man's really speaking in the Arsenal change room. Trust me, bro. They need to employ him, man, bro. Man's always here, man. Deluded hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Guna, come on. Morning, DG. Loving the streams. Why so many dislikes? Justin Charles asked them again. I don't know. Let's just hit the like button. Haters are gonna hate. Let's not give them any time, man. It is what it is. You know, like I said, we've got a good community here. We're doing good things. You know, let's not let the negatives drown us. I don't know why there's so many dislikes. All I can say is you can't win in it. You can dislike, you can hate the thing, but you can't stop the rise in it. Might be able to delay it, but you can't. We're gonna be here every day, and you know, we're gonna do what we need to do, man. So shout all the members, moderators, subscribers. You know, even shout out the people who genuinely dislike my videos. If you genuinely don't dislike it, you know, that's a thing. But if there's any malice, as I always say, from the bottom of my heart, and I apologize on behalf of every sane person, suck your mum a million times and tell your mum to do the same thing. In fact, suck your dad as well, because you're all some pussies. But anyways, keeping it PG, not getting drawn out, just, you know, and I mean that in the most disrespectful way, but no more clout given to them Donnies there, man. Bro, fuck them, man. Always on Tuesday. Bro, fuck them, man. Fuck them. Would rather have Van der Beek than Ceballos. I hear it, but, you know, again, if I'm Van der Beek, things can change. It looks like Ollie's going to keep his role, but, you know, it seems like he's only ever 2 games, a negative 90 minutes from the sack. So at least, you know, I'd be keen to see him leave if I'm Van der Beek and seeing what could happen there. Not quite giving up on my Man United career. That being said, January, I can't lie, you have to go on loan or do something, because again, 40 million's been spunked. He's been nowhere near the first team really and truly like that, you know, apart from the bench. So he needs to do something in that regards, man. DG's been messing with a lot of baby mamas. Nah, man, not even. Would rather see academy players over Ceballos as well. I hear it, but at the same time, we need depth, man. Leaked images of Conte holding up the Spurs shirt. I mean, he's a Spurs gaffer now, innit? So it is what it is, man. In the most disrespectful way. Don't worry about the haters. Word, life, and love from Melbourne. Big up the Aussies. And again, we're not watching them, man. We're not watching them. Better Ramsey than Ceballos? I don't know, man, because I think Ceballos is going to cost a lot less than Ramsey. You know, Ramsey's obviously got the match winning thing or whatever, but I'd be open to taking them on loan. Beyond that, I'm not really for any of that, man. But let me see what you lot are saying before I offer my opinions. You know, man said they'd rather see young players. Do we really need Ceballos? I don't think we need to sign anyone. Train drivers, I disagree. We need to sign players. I mean, so what? You think this team is, with respect to them, you think this team is good enough from now to see it over to May? I hear you, but was you potentially saying that at the start of the season? I only say the start of the season because you're gonna look around and tell me, yeah, players weren't fit, there was COVID and this, that, and the other, and injuries. That's my point. You know, you have to judge a squad at its worst sometimes. Look at Liverpool, bare injuries last season, still managed to save face. When everyone's fit, we might be able to do a thing, but 9 times out of 10, that doesn't happen. So if worse comes to worse, and the worst comes to worse in January when there's a fixture pile up and people that have played at COVID, there's a risk of, played at AFCON, there's a risk with them injuries. We don't need to sign anyone. So we've got enough strength in depth. I'd say depth is the massive L. I would say Arsenal don't have a quality 11. So until then, you should always be able to look for players. So I'm not too sure. And, you know, I'm not too sure that makes sense, train driver, because we're going to be down to our bare bones in January, assuming no one else gets injured that's able to stay. You're left with Xhaka, Lokonga, well, not even El Nene. It's just Xhaka, Lokonga, and Ainsley Maitland-Niles. You might be able to use a young player. And again, is that fair? If you're challenging to try and get Europe, can you really expect Charlie Patton or Miguel Aziz, all of these guys to be thrown in and not make mistakes? They're young footballers and whatnot. You can't have it all. You can't have challenging for Europe, being consistent, giving young players, having stars. You can't have it all. So I hear you on the Ceballos comment, but I strongly disagree with the logic in that Arsenal do not need to sign a player. I think that's very dangerous and would leave us in a very dangerous situation, really and truly. No, what's this about? Danny, bless the grind, DG. I appreciate that. We are linked to Bear, Madrid, Castles. Bro, we've been linked with Ceballos, Luka Jovic. Give it a couple of weeks. You hit the like button if you haven't. We're going to start getting linked with Isco again and all of these sort of guys, without a doubt. Ceballos doesn't even fit the bill in terms of age. I can't lie. I think that's one reason. That might be a bit harsh to Ceballos. I think he does, really. To be fair, he's 25. That's harsh. That's very harsh. Very harsh. That's the one thing he probably has. Maybe lacks consistency, lacks ability. We don't know what we're getting from him. Doesn't, lacks footballing IQ, happy to try and do Cruyff turns and nutmeg people on the edge of his area. Do we need that? I don't think so. But are we in a realm where potentially, again, the only reason I would be for it is because it covers a body in midfield. I was even on getting Oxlade in midfield on loan. Again, I don't want to. I don't think these progress the club, but I'd rather this than nothing, because you've got to always consider the worst. You hope for the best, you consider the worst. Again, who's to say Xhaka will not get injured again? Who's to say, not even just AFCON, of course, across the course of this season, Partey won't get injured, Lokonga won't get injured. You've got to factor in form and whatnot. And just in terms of a body, I would mind it. But I hear you lot. I'm on this quality over quantity. If you can't really get quality, then you could bypass it. But on the best of days, even with everyone fit, I think Arsenal needed 2 central midfielders, specifically 2 number 8s. On the best of, that's on the best of days. So on the worst of days, look at what you're seeing in it. So I respect everyone's opinion, but I just think we're in dangerous game if we say we don't need to sign players and if we don't bring in a midfielder minimum. My chest is high. I don't think we're getting 2 midfielders, but you need to do one. There's no way for the last few seasons you could have said we're going to get the best out of Partey with inconsistent partners. If you believe in Xhaka consistently, fair play. On occasion, he's shown it. But I think we've been down a long road with Xhaka. Lokonga and Partey, you need to get a tune out of that. That needs to be able to play to a certified standard. But again, do you want to be in a case where they're playing together week in, week out? I'm not sure those 2 number 6s are going to be the most creative. We need different options, really. And I think the midfield, and I think there was no way you could, even with Xhaka staying, obviously we was linked with Locatelli, something might have been happening them times with the midfielders we looked at. And then the staying of Xhaka complicated things. I think even with Granit Xhaka, you needed a midfielder. So I hope the club have seen that, contemplated what potentially could happen in terms of the AFCON, and know they need to bring a central midfielder within to this club. If they haven't, then I don't know what to say, but I hope they don't, man. I hope they haven't. Don't want that ballerina back at our club. Will mess our flow. Allow it with Ceballos. It's done out here. Bless up, DG. What do you think about Conor Gallagher to Arsenal? Not a big name, sticking to the youth movement. To be fair, he's going to cost a pretty penny. He's probably become a 30-40 million pound player now with what he's doing at Palace off the back of a positive Swansea loan spell and just playing Premier League football. So he's probably costing 30-40. He's not a bad player at all. But could for Arsenal, I'm not saying he would tie into what we're doing, but that 30-40 million, I think it could be better spent on midfielders that could probably do it to a higher standard and help us right now. Haters are going to hate, man. Their baby mothers and probably mothers are watching, man. You know, again, it's not my fault. I know, man. It's attractive seeing a guy so consistent and on the grind and things. I would hate me too, man. I would hate me too. You know, you have to start petting people. There's a Jovic loan room I saw, must be agent chat. I'd entertain him on loan. I wouldn't mind. Sometimes you got to take a chance on these damaged goods, and I feel at 20, I love a bargain in it. There are other strikers, you know. For me, we can't get him, but Kareem Adeyemi, Isak, I want all the, you know, like you lot, I'm selling myself the dream that we're going to bring in Vlahovic from Fiorentina. You know, these are the guys I think we need. But sometimes you've got to take a chance on Jovic. Jovic, if you give him a bit of love, 23 years of age, 25 million euros buy-in, you might have a player there. I do think he went through a couple purple patch seasons, a bit like Andre Silva, and people start gassing it. I think he joined similar to Pepe, really, had 2 real or 18 months of a purple patch. I think Jovic joined Real Madrid when he wasn't ready. I can't blame a man for not turning down Real Madrid, but yeah. Probably, I'm not just from the little, I don't know him personally, but from the little things I look, it seems like there's an issue with professionalism where he's concerned, people, even to the basis of you're told to segregate yourself due to COVID and he didn't do it. So I'm not really, I don't know. I don't know as a humble football fan what a man's mentality is saying. But for me personally, I'd rather just stay clear of it, really, really and truly. But I wouldn't mind taking a chance, if I'm completely honest. Don't forget the amount of mistakes that Ceballos has in his game. Bro, footballing IQ's on the floor, man. Tini was good against Spurs. Yeah, he would. But Tini can do a lot better, man. Granit will need a cushion to sit on the bench. I wouldn't be so surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised. Tini's inevitable. Xhaka's inevitable. No, Ceballos, bring in man that want to impress Arsenal and play for their career. Ceballos isn't that guy. We should be looking for a proper number 8. I agree. He didn't set the place alight last time, did he? Nope, not at all. Big up DG. Can't see the point of taking Ceballos on a third loan. Apart from covering a body in midfield, I agree with you. I can't see a reason. Big up to everyone who's hit the like button. 103 likes so far. Keep running that one up, people. If you haven't hit that like button, you know what you need to do. Crazy, man. Where he nearly knocked us out of Europa League twice. I think the only thing Ceballos did of significance is Arsenal fans wet their pants when he did some skills against Newcastle. But the best performance I've seen is when him and Eddie Nketiah want to fight each other pre-game. That's about it. If I'm honest with you, beyond that, it's dead. Man said it's not a Ceballos thing at all. Why on earth is this even a conversation? Kovacic would be lovely, but again, dream chasing. Would you take Aouar for 10 to 12 mil? You're not going to get him for 10 to 12 mil, but 100%. 100%. Keep the engagements coming, people. I'm seeing a lot. People are disliking due to the clickbait. I don't think we're clickbait. We're just talking about comments, but everyone's allowed to dislike and like what they want, man. We're still gonna, we've won in it. Like there's 100 likes, 30 dislikes. I'm here with my people, them talking about football in it. So anyone who's got a problem, in the most respectful way, suck yourself in it. Like if you got a problem, remember, suck yourself. If you got a problem, you know what time it is, man. I'm a good guy, but yeah, man. If you've got any problems, suck yourself. If you've got any other problems, I'm not hard to find. Do your thing when you see me in it. Other than that, if you're not going to put your work in, let's keep it moving. People, keep your opinions coming in relation to Ceballos. I will get through everyone, but let's actually get through what we can actually see in relation to Dani Ceballos. Now, again, for me, I'm not really with this. The only reason I would take Ceballos back on loan is the same logic that would see me take RAMSEY back on loan and the same logic that would see me take Oxlade back on loan. Desperation. I look at our midfield, and I don't think any of these players improve it. Would not take any of them permanently, but in terms of a body, if another body drops in this midfield, we're gonna be in problems, really and truly. Do I think Ceballos can bring balance to our midfield? No. Do I believe that with Ox? Does Ox even believe in him, in his own capabilities there? No. The other man I said, do I believe in it? No. But the only thing for me would be desperation. I'd rather this not be a story. I'd rather not have to speak about this. I'd rather us just know that this thing is gone. It don't send off the good vibes. To me, it just looks like, cool, we're desperate, we're reactive. His situation hasn't got better at Real Madrid. We didn't see enough to want to buy him permanently, which is another alarm bell. But let's just grab him on loan again and see what's going on. He's also been linked with Roma. Again, he went back to Real Madrid. Big surprise, it didn't work in it. Like, you couldn't get into Arsenal's team consistently and be the guy. How can you do it there? Don't think you're a bad player. Just don't necessarily think you're a good one, really. Like, when I look past, fantastic technical ability, fantastic bravado, but the IQ, when Ceballos first came here, I was looking at, all right, cool, go and show that you are a Real Madrid player in and amongst these Arsenal peasants in the most respectful way, because there should be a growth in class. You haven't done that, the footballing IQ for me as well. That was one thing I would have thought with a Real Madrid centre mid would have been unlocked. As I said earlier, man are trying to not make people on the edge of our area, trying to put it through people's legs, historically holding onto the ball for too long. On one hand, I kind of admired that he was brave to try and play, but yeah, man, and Europa League, I'm sure he had a couple of mistakes as well. I'm sure there was a time he made a mistake in the league and in the Europa League back-to-back. And he's just ultimately not a player I can trust. There's still a couple of those players already here. So again, the only thing would be desperation. Other than that, it don't make any logical sense. Definitely not to take on Ceballos or any of the players I've said on a permanent basis, people. And you're seeing a lot of reports come out. So again, just typing in the name Dani Ceballos will bring you any other reports. But if you look at this one, people, Arsenal keeping transfer tabs on Dani Ceballos despite not signing Real Madrid midfielder after 2-year loan spell. I mean, surely there must have been a bag of targets that we scouted, man, for central midfield. We brought in Lokonga, so surely there must have been some sister targets. Is there not anyone that presents, even if it doesn't bang, there's resale value, someone that just gets the fans going, someone that is a bit better spent on money? Because what's worse, people, we either try to sign him permanently or we give them another $1 million or $2 million to take him on loan. Again, desperation makes you do silly things. This was one of the best transfer windows in that we're looking at it. It's once where it's actually money well spent. Ramsdale, you're gonna make, well, even if he was to be never improve again, you're making your £30 million back on him. Lokonga, you can see you can make your bread back on him. Tomiyasu, if something went out wrong, you can make your bread. Tavares signed for 6.6 something million. You're gonna make a decent profit on that. Now, I'm not saying to sell these players. I'm saying if worse comes to worse, obviously they've all become options in the team, with the respect of Ben White, who is doing his job. And I think people are talking about the price tag, but there's not pitchforks. I think the money's been kind of justified and you're seeing it. And that was probably one of the only windows we've seen that. And the jury's still out. No one's confirmed nothing. But how many times has Arsenal spent big money and it's not worked out? I like Lacazette. I don't think Pepe's the worst player. And these lot haven't gone to the level of Ceballos, but 70 million, 52 million, they haven't been worth that, innit? Keep it true. They haven't been worth that. We brought in players on loan, didn't get no bang for our buck with Ceballos' 2 loan spells and the couple of million that went behind that. It's not just the big money signings, it's the big money signings, it's the loan signings, it's historically the 3 guys that we've brought into the team and probably struggling to shift them off. Now, the ones that are on the first team, you look at Kolasinac still in and around, Cedric in and around. This was one of the windows where we actually looked like we're going against them previous bad practices. So I think Ceballos would make this a case of 2 steps forward, 10 back. Again, at 25 years of age, is what it is. I don't know how long he's got on his Real Madrid season, but I'm tired of being part of this love story. Him and Real Madrid need to go to marriage counseling and someone needs to break away because it doesn't look like it's happening. I don't want to come here and have another player that at times I thought you would have. I don't mind if you don't want, it's not that you don't want to play for Arsenal, but you want to go back. You're already thinking of returning back to Real Madrid. For me, if that makes you play well, boss it. And like I said, show that you are a Real Madrid player in and amongst an Arsenal team that isn't in Europe or Europa League or whatever. Cool. But for me, it did feel like watching Ceballos a couple of times. Sometimes he's on it, sometimes he's not. And I don't know him, man. I've never had a conversation with this man, but I always start to think to myself, is that because you know that you're not really with this thing? You're here, you're enjoying it, London life, Arteta fellow Spaniard, Arsenal, it's wavy, it's a good club on the CV. But I'm pardon my language, I'm effing off back to Spain and going back to Real Madrid. So I don't know if there was, I don't want to say there's not commitment, and I don't think commitment's the right thing I'm looking at, but commitment. Arsenal still keeping an eye on Real Madrid midfielder Dani Ceballos, despite rejecting the chance to sign him permanently after a 2-year loan spell. According to reports, the Gunners are still interested in signing Ceballos, who is yet to feature for Real Madrid this season. So again, match fitness and the best Ceballos and him being in the best condition. When is he going to be in that then? Because he's barely played. He's picked up ankle injuries. So like I said, you're going to get a body there, but in January, you ain't going to have long to adapt. On top of us knowing about Ceballos anyways, how much are you going to be off the pace? And again, I'm saying you're a body, provided he comes in, God forbid, Partey would be irrelevant, El Nene would be irrelevant. Let's just say Lokonga hurts himself or Ainsley does, and we're further down and we have to do things. I don't know if you're the guy if he was to be thrown in. Let's just say January the 1st against City. If something happens, are you ready levels to be thrown in? I don't think so, people. And he's been nursing an ankle injury. It's just one we should stay clear. Go back to Betis, go link your boy Bellerin, go link Jose Mourinho in Roma. I'm not really with it. He's contracted until 2023. So you'd imagine he would go somewhere and have a point to prove, because I'm sure you want a new deal at Madrid or you want to keep it moving, people. So it is what it is. It ain't been going too well at Roma at this moment in time. And to be honest, again, he talked a good game when he left. He don't want to be back here in his heart. Listen, Arsenal and him, we'd be grabbing him because there's no one else. He'd be joining us because there's no one else. I don't know if financially Betis are going to go for you, Roma are going to go for you, this club, that club, whatever. But you remember when he left, he said, I like the Spanish league more. It suits my game better. I don't think that's wrong. It probably does. But that tells you don't fancy it. So it's not an Arsenal thing where Ceballos is concerned, if I'm honest with you, people. And as you lot can see here, Arsenal are still keeping tabs on Real Madrid midfielder Dani Ceballos, despite not signing him after a 2-year loan spell. Across the 2 years, he made 77 appearances. Did he? You sure? He really played 77 times for Arsenal Football Club. I'm not sure on that one there. I can't lie. That's mad. And he only got 2 goals, 5 assists. Now, I won't really use the goal thing against you, but the minimum I'd say is if you dictate the game and it runs through you, I allow you. He never done none of that. He never done none of this, people. What's all of this? This is the actual, what's this? I think this is this is some Dani Ceballos thing. As you look, it's Google Translate. It said something about the team of his heart, so that's probably Betis. So you go to Betis, go enjoy your football, man. So again, it's got nothing to do with us, really and truly. If that, I'm going to be very surprised if Dani Ceballos has 77 appearances for Arsenal Football Club. That's mad. For what it's worth, what I see there, apparently they want 25-30 million for him, which isn't the worst, but for Arsenal, I think that's too much of an outlay for Dani Ceballos. But you better be trying to put that down to 15 or something. What have you done? You're still at the stage you was when Real Madrid bought you from Betis, of this young, potentially promising wonder kid. I'm saying that I'm being harsh because you've obviously played for your country and all of these sort of things, but boy, it's a myth. Again, goals on everything, but 100 La Liga appearances where you've been a sideman for the bulk of it. You've got more yellow cards than you probably have standout games, definitely where goals and assists are. Didn't bag in the Premier League, got 5 assists, 49 appearances. All right, fair enough. He probably did make 77. And the wickedest thing, I'm not trying to be deep, but out of these 77 games, but how many remember any? Like, realistically, do you not remember any? I'm sure there was one time against Burnley, he was lit. I remember Newcastle away. I think he come off the bench and he was rattling and fans were gassing him. I think Burnley at the Emirates. There's not too many standout Dani Ceballos games in an Arsenal shirt, people. I'm not even trying to be rubby to him. Like, out of all of these 77 appearances, you get me? What happened really? Like, really, at the 25 games in the league, what happened? Like, I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm just looking at, bro, they're saying 25-30 mil. My man's Mr. Real Madrid in that. I can't tell you, bro, Europa League, all right, he done his thing. Bit irrelevant. Again, Europa League group stage is definitely where it's concerned. Hit the like button if you haven't. You're going to bad up these games anyways, aren't you, people? Again, he could have been hard in all of these games, but I can't tell you I can remember any of them off the top of my head. I'll be real. Again, like I said, I remember, you heard me. I said Burnley, I said Newcastle. So them games are there. Beyond that, I don't really remember what you did against Spurs. I don't remember you doing dirt in any of these games. You might have played lit in some of these games beyond that, but I've just said 2 off the top of my head. I can't remember the rest. And obviously, he had some injuries here and whatnot. Again, I assume he played well against Newcastle. We won 4-0. That was when I can remember Saka and Eddie Nketiah and Aubameyang across these 2 games. Man, don't remember Ceballos. Like, again, I'm not being harsh. Does anyone remember these games, especially the big ones as well? To be fair, we struggle, but I don't remember him doing nothing in any of the big ones in particular. Like, again, I might be being harsh, I might be being wrong, but it's looking a myth. Like, it's looking the biggest of myths. So yeah, man, that's where we're at with Dani Ceballos. Let me know your opinions. Again, the only way I'm for it is desperation. If you're not like, if you're not going to bring in nothing and you can do that on loan, not permanently, do it in it. Apart from that, it speaks volumes that we're even sitting here talking about this. I don't think it sends off, you know, the best message, man. It looks like he could return to Arsenal in Jan. Do you think there is some sort of interest by Arsenal to want him? But myth, man. That's screaming brown envelope dealings, if I'm honest with you. Been here for 2 years, never in the best team. It's a myth, man. Don't forget the amount of mistakes that Ceballos has in his game. Exactly, and we're going to be developing him for someone else, man. Forget all of that, man. To be fair to you, I don't blame single players because across the 2 games, we could have done a lot better. But yeah, man, highlighted by certain mistakes, man. We don't need any more of these individuals, man. Just leave it alone, man. If I'm Arsenal, I try to get Van der Beek because he's not getting game time and his father-in-law is Bergkamp, so it might convince him. Ceballos would be a good squad player instead of El Nene, but if we want improvements, Rento, I don't know who that is. Do you mean Renato Sanchez / Kessié are the ones? I think, I like Kessié, but we've got Partey and Lokonga, so I think we need a different profile. What about Asensio? Would be more on taking Asensio than Ceballos. But even that, he's got bare injuries and all these sort of things, man. Over reliance on youth will be dangerous. Ceballos lacks pace and tries tricks in the wrong positions, in brackets, our half, and loses the ball. Inconsistent. We need stability. It's worrying. Trust. I'd rather get Ramsey or Oxlade than Ceballos. Oh, if I had to rank them, I agree, same way. But then I'm like, oof. Who would I rather? I mean, Ramsey probably be the first on loan. It's a toss-up between Oxlade and Ceballos, man. I don't know, really. It's 2 equally frustrating players. I can't answer what they are. D-rate Loftus-Cheek, yeah. Would you cough out Declan Rice's release clause? 100 million? Probably not. Or whatever it is, probably not. Man said he'd rather bring back Santi. It's not it. Bruno Gomares, but it's a myth. That's what we need. We don't want him back. He is not good for our club. Europa League last season almost died. He robbed. He's just not suited to the Prem, let alone us. The thing is, I don't think, bro. You can't say you're suited to La Liga. I don't. This is why I don't really rate Ceballos because there's nothing in your game that shows me that you're not suited for it. One thing I give you, you're down for the rattling thing. Man can kick you. I think you're still on it, but your footballing IQ is toilet. You do it, you play with your head down, you're just doing skills in the wrong area, consistency is lacking. So I don't think it's not a suited thing. I just think you're on an idiot one. Dani Ceballos versus Sheffield, he must have bossed it. But again, if big goal, fair play. But we're sitting there, Christy, we're scratching heads to find out that one day. Like, look how many, there's 200 of you locked in. Let's say 229, including myself. We're there going, what were the games sort of thing. I said what Newcastle and Burnley, you thrown in Sheffield, that's 3 now. 3 games out of 77, Ceballos. Mad thing. Absolute madness. I'd rather Arteta really played the middle, man, if I'm honest with you. Oh, and Conte's confirmed. Fuck's sake. He don't look too happy in that Spurs shirt though. If I'm honest with you, I'll bring it up in a second. One sec, people. Let me change the title. Conte, the Spurs confirmed. Unai Emery seems like he could be getting Newcastle. Big up to everyone who was in the watch along. Live stream earlier because we spoke about all of that. But yeah, man, it's been confirmed. What's the timestamp? 34:20. Hit the like button if you haven't done such already, people. Conte, new Spurs gaffer, and it'll be interesting to see how he does, man. It'll be interesting to see if he does a 3-5-2, what that means for Ndombele, how Son and Kane react. Are they going to get in form? How, considering the fact that there's everything to play for Tottenham this season and nothing's been written off where the league is in terms of points, it'll be keen to see. But for all the Arsenal fans that wanted Conte at Arsenal, as you lot can see, they've said, we are delighted to announce the appointment of Conte as our head coach on a contract until 2023 with the option to extend. As you know, he's won hella titles. It's listed them all. Premier Leagues, hat-trick of Scudettos, you know, hopefully he doesn't win a damn thing there. It spoke about when he began his coaching thingies as well. You know, it's a dramatically longer article than when Nuno got the clip, people. So he's doing his thing. And when you look at it, he said, I'm extremely happy to be returning to coaching and to do so at a Premier League club that has the ambition to be a protagonist again. So that tells you, you know, there's no law less necessarily of the Tottenham Hotspur brand. It's an opportunity and fair play. They do want to be protagonists again. Whether you're able to do that, I don't know, because you're not going to be at an Inter, a Juventus, a Chelsea, whatever. To be honest, he did take over Chelsea when it was a bit mad, but he spoke about Tottenham's state-of-the-art facilities, best stadium in the world. Obviously, probably the attraction of returning to London helped as well. He said, I can't wait to start to convey the work and the fans, the passion, mentality, and determination that have always distinguished me as a player and as a coach. Last summer, our union did not happen because the end of my relationship with Inter was still too recent and emotionally too involved with the end of the season, so that I felt it wasn't right. It wasn't yet the right time to return to coaching. But the contagious enthusiasm and determination of Daniel Levy in wanting to entrust me. So, yeah, he was moving like, for the galley that are listening, he's moving like that guy that you didn't give a chance, that you don't take seriously, but he's always texting you. He's always being nice. And you thought, F it, let me give you a chance. Somehow you've given him some nookie and you're in a relationship. So that's what with Daniel Levy. For Levy, bro, you got to make it work, innit? The Nuno thing got wrapped up. Expensive failure with Jose. It's got to work with Conte. You hear 150 million pounds and that. They've got to commit to it because they need to rebuild that squad anyways. And I do feel football clubs versus managers should be building squads in football nowadays because it's head coach thing. Managers are very disposable. Villarreal had Emery for 2 seconds. It looked like he's going Newcastle. Arsenal, since Wenger's left, we've had a couple of people. You know, Spurs have had the same. The clubs need, you know, this is why Barca are probably poor now. You need to have an identity. That manager should reflect it, be able to enhance it, be able to put his own little spin on it, but it shouldn't be a thing. So again, Levy needs to, you look at that whole back five, really. Romero's good. Do they have a partner? Who can get the best out of Reguilon, which as a fullback, he should relish playing under Conte. You know, Emerson, what can you do there? You spent 30 million. That midfield needs renewal as well. So it'd be interesting to see what happens, people, you know. And he said, entrust me with this task. I'd already hit the mark. Now that the opportunity has returned, I have chosen to take it with great conviction. Pedrizzi, who he knows from his time at Juventus, he said, we are delighted to welcome Antonio to the club. His track record speaks for itself with vast experience and trophies in both Italy and England. Hopefully none where White Hart Lane or Shite Hart Lane is confirmed or concerned. I know firsthand the qualities Antonio can bring to us, having worked with him at Juventus, and look forward to seeing his work with our talented group of players. Let's see what he can do, and he will definitely do a lot better than Nuno Espirito Santo because he knows what to do. And the thing is, Nuno, I don't know. It's like Nuno, there's nothing, you know, he wasn't charismatic in the press conferences. You struggled to see how the players could play for him. He was a bit of a moaner. You know, he clearly just out of his depth. He took off Lucas Moura for whatever reason against United. He was probably their best player. Shown he's not cut up the task, really. So that's that where Conte is confirmed, people. So, yeah, man, it is what it is. Right, you man are on to him. E.g., God forbid Dani Ceballos comes back, I'll wipe my hands clean with this club. Jamie, I hear you, but bloody hell, mate, calm down. Like, out of all the things for Arsenal, not how, you know, they treated Mesut Ozil when he was talking about several things, not how they treated Gunnosaurus, not how they historically been lying to fans, but a Dani Ceballos return is the one that clicks at enough in your head. I hear it, but yeah, man, there 100% is better players out there than Ceballos. He had a key pass versus Leicester where he played the right mouth. Come on now. Man are saying key passes. It's done now, isn't it? His first game, that's it. Make Ceballos part of the JOVIC deal, or just leave Ceballos and bring Jovic. Remember his mistakes. Boy, it's looking mad. If we're in the top four come New Year, they need to buy in Jan, not loan. Only 2 players, top class centre mid with 12, 15 goals a season, and a top striker to replace Lacazette. I think if a striker's coming, I hear you, to replace Lacazette, but they're not going to do that until the summer. And for me, Aubameyang should have become the Lacazette replacement. I know there's two different skill sets. Bringing someone that can do what Lacazette does, and you bring in a striker better than what we have with long-termism. Regardless of us being in the top four, we need to bring in a centre mid. Whether you're able to bring in a top-class goal-scoring midfielder, I don't know if that's something we're able to do. I would like goals because we don't score goals historically over the field. But I would say before I look at a midfielder who's going to bring goals, that could be a bonus because you could bring in a Bruno Fernandes and he would unbalance our team really, but his output would be amazing. I would say the biggest thing is a centre mid that has different strengths to Lokonga and Partey and can hold on to the ball and dictate the tempo of a game. Can do whatever they say Xhaka does, but to a higher standard and less touches. The goals would be a bonus for me. Well, Ceballos has just said he's not on this thing, so I think it's worse, really and truly. DJ, I think if Lacazette and Pepe have won you a trophy, they have been somewhat worth it, considering what Spurs and United have spent. It's mostly up to the managers. I hear you. Don't know what I don't know what that's worth. I mean, I don't know what relevance Spurs and United have. We've won a trophy, so their time's been a success. They've been decent players. I'm not saying that, but has Lacazette been worth 52 million? No. Has Pepe been worth the 70 million in outlays at this time? No, really and truly. They've been decent players, but they haven't been worth it. And we've won a trophy. At the end of the day, Chelsea signed Havertz. He scored the Champions League winning goal. The narrative, he's worth it. But if you ask Chelsea people, honestly, has he done much for the 90 million and stuff? They would say no. So I hear you, but I think that's very lazy, really and truly. Torres won the Champions League at Chelsea. Was he a success at Chelsea? His time, from a personal point of view, but was he a success? And if he didn't win the champs, he 100% won something in Europe with Chelsea. I'm sure this guy won Champions League with Chelsea. Fernando Torres. He weren't worth whatever Liverpool got from him. They conned him. But you could say he helped them do a thing. I think it's quite lazy to do that, though. Let me see. Yeah, he won the Champions League with Chelsea still. Don't know whether they're going with Ceballos. This better be a smoke screen for Bruno Guimaraes, something like that. I don't know, man. I don't hate Danny or anything, but we just need a placeholder. I would rather get an older guy, but better that's on his way out. I'd rather go for Ndombele than Ceballos. Respect Ndombele. He's clear of him, man. 4 hours contract was up next year. It's 2023. It's peak when they'd rather play 800-year-olds ahead of you. Perfect word, desperate. Signing Ceballos looks desperate. That's old energy. Time to move forward with someone new. What clickbait? Weird crowd on YouTube these days. This is why you lot should follow on Twitch, man. YouTube's got some weirdos, man. Some hella weird, some just weird brothers out there. But it is what it is. 179 likes. Dislikers in the absolute mud. Ainsley's a better centre mid than Ceballos. I don't know that. I can't lie. I don't know. I really don't know. Because what midfielder is Ainsley? He's never really grabbed his opportunities. And then you've got Ceballos with all the issues. I actually don't know. Morning, DG. Morning, everyone in DG Nation. Like button hit. Simple process. Some comes up. Hit the like button. Appreciate that. Man said even push for Bernardo Silva. You lot's chest is high, isn't it? High as hell. Big up yourself, S. We'd love Aouar, man. I mean, if you've seen the last couple games from Lyon with Aouar, he's been doing quite well. But my heart can't go through that. I would love Guimaraes, Aouar, Kakare. These guys are not landing, despite the fact Lyon are broke as well. It's all gazy, man. It's all gazy. Man says Xhaka equals Ceballos. That's a cap. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Ceballos 100%. Two duds, man. Conte is a joke, man. He said he'd only jump in management mid-season for United. But did he really say that, man? Must have been worse. Arsenal need to stop using other teams' failures as benchmark as to why Arsenal's failings are accepted or somehow not as bad. DG randomly came to mind listening to you. What do you think of Pogba at Arsenal? I mean, it'd be amazing, but again, that's dream world, man. Absolute dream world. Ceballos versus Burnley is the biggest catfish in Arsenal's history. Fully gave me Santi vibes. But this is why I remember telling you lot on these live streams, don't wet your pants. Arsenal fans are very easy to impress, even though they claim they have high standards and they claim they don't settle for mediocrity. You do not battle and even entertain a conversation that Xhaka is better than Vieira, Maria is better than Gabriel, Ceballos done that Ceballos did a couple dance, Ceballos, people started wetting their pants after a little turn against Newcastle. Standards are on the floor. Even for a couple of these new boys that have come in, we're gassing saves, certain saves that are not mad, not the free kick, we're gassing it. Certain fullbacks who are kind of meaty are doing headers and that we're getting gassed. And I'm one of them as well, man. No clue for the number of dislikes, but fuck 'em, man. What formation do you want Arteta to play? I think it'll be a 4-3-3 for next season. I hope it's something like that. Out of 70 games, Ceballos, people in the chat can only remember 4.7% of his games. That's mad. Let's be honest. It's going to be Xhaka Lokonga in midfield when AFCON is going on. Yep. Bro, we're not going to get in Ndombele though, man. Nah, you're boying it, man. Said Dani. I would take Dani Ceballos over Dani Suarez. I can't lie, man. So Bios is not what we need right now. An okay squad player at best. DG, what do you think? Where do you think we'll finish this season? For me, top 7 with Smith Rowe and Saka to have star seasons. Hopefully, it's down to the boys. I see reasons for us being able to finish in the top 6, 7. So I see reasons for us to finish 8 from below again. So it's down to them. As I can't speak for no one else, but this season I've only seen the good, bad, and the ugly. Now, where we are right now, the sentiment is extremely positive. But I haven't learned anything about Arsenal. There's, excluding the new boys because they've added something. But we're going to need a lot more than that. And everything's going perfect for us. I want to see a reaction. How do we react to going to go down? How do we react to when there's injuries? How are we going to deal with the pile-up of fixtures? How are we going to react when the mood isn't as great as it is, winning 8, being unbeaten and all of these sort of things? We're in November. Show me this in May. Close it out. Because we had last season, there was periods in months where we was playing well. Man said, Matic, leave it alone. I mean, I would love Isak, but I can't see it happening, man. DG, can we get rid of Xhaka before his contract ends? We can, but Arteta's showing no willingness to do that. That's his guy, in it. So that's who will be playing football where they're concerned, really and truly. So there's nothing to really be surprised there. Midfield depth is on the floor, man. And it was awful. Bro, listen, Pogba, at least Pogba at this age, he's not signing for Arsenal. Leave it alone, man. Behave, man. It's not happening, man. Conte said he was never going to go in Spurs full of lies. Bro, again, to be honest with you, you can't, these man don't own none of these clubs or anything. These lot say a lot of things and do different, innit? It is what it is. You lot are onto some, but you lot are harsh on some. I mean, Fabrizio Romano's obviously going to add a bit of glam and a bit of razzle and dazzle onto these rumours. But this shows you, as football people, we don't know nothing. Unless you're the people involved, you don't know a damn thing, man. Bro, Gladbach from Kone from Gladbach, we spoke about him in a live stream before. He needs his own specific vid. Young guy, but I like him a lot. Is winning 7 after losing the first 3 not a reaction? Brandon, apologies. I didn't say it's not a reaction, but I mean, I've seen us do this. I've seen us go on winning runs. I've seen us do this. I've seen us actually play well in big games. I need to see it in when things aren't perfect. Things are kind of perfect for us. Yeah, we had a shorthand with injuries, but there's still the same question marks. I can't, you lot can get wrapped up in the sentiment. I want these lot to make it all the way to May, but I haven't learned a damn thing about Arsenal this season, apart from the new signings coming in and what they've added. When we started at the start of the season, obviously, we had COVID, we had injuries. There's going to be a problem there. Still no excuse for the level of performance. I knew we had that in us. Now that we're on this unbeaten run, I know we've got it in us. What I have liked up until this point is that we buck teams that typically when teams are in a bad run of form and they play us, they turn it around. I like the fact that it didn't happen where Spurs is concerned. It didn't happen where Villa's concerned. But yeah, man, I think anyone that wants to force a negative sentiment is overdoing it. I think anyone that wants to be over positive and to the point of complacency, which I think a lot of fans are doing, is going to be in for a rude awakening very soon. I think we've got to keep balance. There's a lot of positives. There's a lot of things we've built upon. There's a lot of things to build upon, but we're doing all right. We were always due a reaction. You can say it's a reaction, but it's irrelevant to me because it's not May. It's not even the end of the year. All I need to know is, as I said, in October, from October to January, make sure you come out of that period and you're the same things we're saying now in the same places we're looking like we are in the league. You're there them times. Then I'll get a bit more optimism. And then our manager has to be able to do that. And it's very naive if anyone thinks we're not going to lose or drop points at some point this season, on top of the points we've already dropped. And we've got a young squad. Some of them don't know how to navigate things and whatnot. So we'll have to see, man. That's just my 2 pence, though. I can't tell you lot what to think, just to think. That's it, bro. Like, I've seen us do it before. I am liking what I'm seeing, but I've not yet gone wow, Arsenal. Like, wow, seen us beat Spuds. Now I'm gonna, bro. If you lot, I will start to listen. You lot think I'm playing. We spoke about this yesterday. Like, I'm not just saying this for the sake of saying it. Like, I'm just want you to think. Like, again, now, if they do stuff like this, then I'll start thinking different. From now till January, we should just say it's one big month. It's just one big month. There's nothing else. Again, Watford, I don't know what it's going to throw up, but I know Watford. See, listen, on top of the form and stuff, we should be wiping the floor with Watford. That should be a 3 points. You still need to take it on a game by game basis because we don't typically know what's happening with Arsenal. Really, we've been on unbeaten runs. They're fighting relegation. They've got a new manager. We should be winning that, but there is going to be some fight back. Now, for me, I'm looking at it is fuck all of that. This ain't the game that they turn things around. Take 3 points. No romance for Claudio Ranieri in where this game is concerned. And also, again, you can never disrespect an opponent and think beyond them. You need to take 3 points because look who you have the next week. You've got Liverpool away. Now it's all about the level of performance to me. I want to leave there with some respectability. I don't want no cricket scores, but that's a game. Fair play. I'd write off. Especially if you get 3 points, you give yourself some insurance. Now, Emery probably will be in charge for this game at the Emirates, and Joe Willock will probably score. And there'll probably be a lot of links with Rob Holding to Newcastle, etc. But they're fighting relegation. Like Watford, you've got to be a bit wary of that, but you should be winning. So at least where the first 3 games of November are concerned, out of a potential 9 points, you should be aiming for 6. If we were as a bit better, I'd even say maybe we should be at a level where you could target a little draw against Liverpool. I'm not saying go to Anfield and just accept nonsense. Go and make it hard. Go and show you, because even if they beat you 2-1, this is where you're going to see where you actually are. There's going to be a golfing class, but then we'll get to see certain players' levels, and you lot will get to, if you want to be the best, you've got to play the best. When you play against the best, you see your true levels. There's no false image. There's no lies and whatnot. So go and do something. So you need to 6 points minimum from these first 3 games. Goes without saying. That's November. Continue your good form. I don't think we're going to stay unbeaten forever, but the challenge to these boys, can you stay? Well, I would say the challenge is, can you stay unbeaten? Can you only drop 3 points max because you got Liverpool? Can you put in a good performance for Liverpool? Can it be a final game where we've played a team like Liverpool and we can see why Mo Salah's the best in the world / the Prem, Van Dijk the best centre half, not the self-capitulation and silly mistakes, or we've done well for 10 minutes. So like fans do, focus on that silly first 10 minutes, disregarding the other 80, not like football's a 90-minute game. Can you put in a performance? And this is assuming everybody's fit. Certain man might not be fit, and there might be reasons why we might get battered, but people have to stand up to be counted. So can you get 6 points minimum / potentially undefeated in November? December is not pretty, and assuming there's no injuries. United away, Everton away. Everton's form's on the toilet, but we lost there last year. We ain't traveled to Old Trafford too amazing in the last few years. Can you win? Southampton's a bit of a bogey team where we're concerned. It's West Ham are performing very well and beating up teams. Leeds, Ellen Road, we didn't win there last year, and they're a good team regardless of form, and they need to secure 40 points. No one is going to hand us 3 points out of these teams, no one. So again, January, November, we should listen. I want to smack up Sunderland because their coach was talking nonsense about us. I want to move to Norwich because Norwich, everyone should be looking at as 6 points. They're fighting relegation. So that's a game we should be winning. So again, till December, you might have to do something. You've obviously got Wolves at home, which again, we lost that last season. So, and I'm not even going to keep scrolling down. I'll just leave it on January the 1st. But again, these are some tough fixtures. And as you know, the narrative and sentiment can change people. Right now, the sentiment is amazing at Arsenal. And it has been amazing for the last few months. But if we go all the way back now, if you lot remember, it's positive now after obviously we dealt with Leeds. We kept, 2 identical scorelines in all comps against Leeds and Leicester, doing what we need to do. Villa, yeah, we conceded a cheap goal, but we started well. We played quite well between that. Leicester in hindsight, and Spurs a couple of months before, they're our best performances. Effed up. But again, the sentiment was very different. Despite the fact we were unbeaten and these teams were in form, and that's another case to be said. Can you do it against teams that are quote unquote in form? You know, a point against Brighton isn't the worst, but for me, we never turn up against Brighton, and we was kind of lackluster. And I don't know what we was doing against Palace. The sentiment, even though we didn't lose these games, it instantly changed. And this was coming off the back of a strong-ish sort of September. The sentiment changed. Man was saying, you go and look at the articles that people are posting. We don't know how Arteta can persist. This boring. The football is dire and boring. Then obviously we went with the 4-4-2, and we've been scoring goals. The sentiment has been has been all right. But what people cast yourselves back to what you were saying on October the 18th and the 2nd of October. Don't live in dream world. Don't get too negative. Don't get too excited. Have balance. Look at what things are telling you. Don't let your emotions make you do nonsense. September, we did all right. After obviously it was a Mazza the month before, and let's not look at August. But my point being, from now to January, that's where you're going to win or lose a lot of things. For me, as I said, can you get to January? Can you go from January to the end of March, beginning of April? Can you then go from April to May, final furlong, not letting any of the hard work you've brought into you've done all season, don't shank it up, don't mess it up, sort of thing. Can you do that? And if you can do that, the table don't lie. I know Arsenal fans are a special breed, but I'm not one that's going to waffle about being X amount of points off the top four when you was equally X amount of points below. In could have finished somewhere calam. I'm not going to care about if we're the best team since 2022 has started or whatever. I care about August to May. Yeah, there's going to be bumps and bruises. Some months are going to be better than others. We're going to be dealt a shorthand, but that's all that matters. Where you start, where you finish. You don't get any trophies for, but in February we did this and we did that and we did this. Right now, reality is, as much as there's been consistency, no Arsenal fan can truly answer in their heart. They know what Arsenal's going to turn up, and a lot of the things that we're praising, if we can't do this for 5 or 10 games, it's dead. Realistically, if we're trying to be a team that can be consistent and get Europe, we need to move beyond praising, working hard, desire, certain competencies, being switched on, looking well, winning your individual battles, winning your collective battles. These are minimums for teams that want to do things, and that's because we've been starved of this, and the players as well. I know you can do it on occasion. We need to be able to say, can you do this for 5 to 10 games and beyond and beyond? That's the only way this squad is going to elevate and evolve ultimately and whatnot. And can they do that? I don't know. I hope to see so. Is Arsenal firmly? This is Arsenal's most important period, man. Down to us when you lose, when that loss eventually does come, you know how the sentiment's going to change. The unbeaten run's irrelevant. Don't think it's the end of the world. When you're winning, don't think you've achieved anything. You can sit down and admire yourself in May. Beyond the 24 hours after any football game, I don't want any player waffling about it. Again, what? If we beat Watford on Sunday, but all right, by all means, enjoy that evening, but come the next day in your recovery session, go and do your analysis of the game and let's move, because no one is trying to give anyone anything out here. So you need to stand up to be counted in this league. You don't, it's long, innit? Simple as that. Almost at 200 likes. Forgive me, we are at 200 likes. I appreciate you guys for hitting the like button. Keep running up the like button if you have not done such already. Off topic, but PSG are looking to release Ramos only 5 months in. I saw that. Should be quite mad. Man said he's not your friend. Damsgaard, he's all right, but I'm not really on that, man. Yo, DG, big up yourself. Big up Eddie, Camden's finest. I've always rated Danny for his work rate. He did have work rate and his willingness to try things. True, but his decision making was poor. We'll always give credit for the goal in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Fair play to him, but again, that's where it ends, man. It's true. Man said he would take Ramos at centre mid. DG, how are you, my bro? One love. Juma, I'm appreciative of that. I'm good, my guy. And said Conte's at the wheel. Hey, let's hope it works, man. Slacks dropped after he showed the Danny links. Bro, that always happens, bro. It always happens, man. It always happens. West Ham love giving us points. Boy, I can't lie. I'm scared of West Ham. They've moved to us a lot of times as well. It's mad. Conte about to ruin his career. Hope so. Size and stature of Arsenal demands a better league position, but reality is not that way. I'm yet to see an Arsenal fan say this current squad can win the league or come close to challenge. You'd be amazed. Yesterday, someone said that. I don't know where that's come from or who in the comments has spun that on, but I do think there is a lack of balance when we talk about our side, though. I personally think that if we get sixth, it's quite an achievement. Sorry, bro, I get where you're going with it, but I wouldn't say achievement. It's something to build upon. I wouldn't say achievement. Achievement, achievement. Let's look at the dictionary word, definition better yet of achievement. Achievement meaning the process or fact of achieving something, a thing done successfully with effort, skill, or courage. Now, I'll be respectful for some teams. I think that is that, and Arsenal have finished 8th and whatever. But I wouldn't say it's an achievement. I'll give credit. I'd say what I would say is an achievement is if I'm seeing a DNA, if I'm seeing consistency, if I know what I'm getting for 10 games. Yeah, you could say it's an achievement to finish 6th, but myth. I wouldn't say achievement. I'm getting caught up on the word, but achievement. I wouldn't say that's achievement. But I hear you and agree though, man. I might be a hypocrite, but it might even be a miracle because I'm still not. I wouldn't say it's not that I'm not convinced. I don't know what I'm getting. Like, you, man, need to show me this is what you lot are on, man. Yeah, positive progress. Without a doubt. You listen, you've got to finish better than 8th next year. And to a degree, Arteta, he should have got clipped for November last year. If you do not show that, then again, it's down to Arsenal. You need to move someone on then, because again, unless the only way I'm prepared to say Arteta cannot be sacked if it goes wrong is if I can see a real DNA, everything I want to see in the team. I say, all right, cool, we can move with that. If it's looking shaky and for every 10 games there's positive example, if more of the same is happening, then I'm not on it. And this is where you need Arsenal to have. Do you have backup targets? Do you know if something goes on with Arteta that there's someone you can shout? Because again, we're winning, we're doing our thing, but I think I screenshotted it. Most managers would not have survived last November after excluding Mikel Arteta. Where is it? I swear I think he did. I might be wassing, but it showed all the November reports. I saw a tweet, so I just implore you lot all to just go back to last November and see our results, people. Oh, here it is. I think I might be able to draw for that on Twitter as well. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. You're setting your reminders for Manchester United, Atalanta, Manchester United, live from 7:45 here on YouTube. 5:20, I'll be covering Malmo, Chelsea. So make sure you're all there as well, people. Scrolling all the way back. Let's get this one up here. Bring this up for you lot, people. I can't lie. I think 4th is an achievement. But yeah, that's where it stops, man. If you look at this, like I said, other managers don't survive this in November or whenever it was. But this is sack offense worthy. Realistically, you can say what you want. This is sackable offenses. Anyone does this. This is sackable offenses. Any other manager apart from Arteta gets sacked for this. So what I hope is Arteta don't go through this again. And this is why I want him to keep showing DNA and systems and all these things. So at least, I'm not saying that you keep your job, but when things are going wrong, you can sit there and say, okay, this is happening, that is happening, this is happening, that is happening. When we're doing disillusioned things, it's a mad thing. And I'm not trying to make excuses for Arteta. I'm not trying to, attack the guy because, listen, I don't think you should be doing either one at this moment in time. There's been times where, like now, it's looking more like you're the guy. There's been times here where unanimously it's looking like you need to go. And look at that. After that win against United is where it started getting a bit mad. Obviously, we got dealt with Leicester and City. Do you get it? And you look at them draws. Again, we went down to 10 men. That we'll walk away with that one. But we was very reactive, like against Brighton. Southampton, we switched off. So, yeah, man, it's one of them ones, really. And this is why the jury's still out, man. Everyone's still got to put in a shift. We've not achieved anything yet. No one can argue with that because Arteta, the man himself, has said that. The sentiment's good, but we've got a long way to go. So let's just take the games on a game-by-game basis, work on what we'll keep working on. The rest, obviously, we need to work on, and we move, man. We move. And you lot remember that was some mad thing to sit here and do them watch-alongs. It was hard, people. Getting rattled, you know what? Again, I might be trigger warning. I got to bring that back up, man. Trigger warning. Yeah. Are you, man, seeing this? Our last 10 games, 1 win, 2 draws, and the rest are L's. Remember where things can go, And this is what I mean. There's a lot of sentiments in the season. We had this last season, and somehow we're the best team in 2021. But all that matters is where we started in August and where we finished in May, and the fact of we finished 8th. It does not matter. You know, there is some positives last season. Smith Rowe's emergence, the Halen boys doing all right, you know, but it's irrelevant. So let's see what's going on, man. Let's see what's going on. There's still a lot of time in it. And this is why I think it's, listen, if you're fucking with Arteta and you think he's the guy and all these things, I'm not. I'd prefer you to say that. If you don't believe in him, then fair play. But I just don't believe there should be pitchforks. You know, I don't think you should be up Arteta's arse, pause, and I don't think there should be pitchforks to lead him out. It's a wait and see thing, because this is Arsenal, are a wait and see club. Game by game, we don't know what we're getting. Right now, we're moving all right. There's still a lot of things we need to improve on naturally, but let's just chill off, man. Let's just chill off. You know, I don't even want to. I actually would love to. What I should do is look through the whole of the run last season, because I remember from the start of last year, I told you, look, I remember, what was it? It was Leicester in the cup. We got away with a 2-1, and I think West Ham in the league. I said, listen, this season's looking long. You know, a lot of the things that we started to see, I said it. And you know, one thing that we need to work on is when we're winning and stuff, killing teams for 90 minutes and how we manage their little fight back, because it's going to harm us. I thought it was going to harm us against Brighton. Thought it would have harmed us against Palace. Thought it would have harmed us against Spurs if you go and watch that game again. Potentially even against Leicester. We need to work on things. And I might be cherry picking. You need to cherry pick if you want to be one of the best in the league and all of these sort of things, people. Trauma really does give you memory loss. What the hell with that run? Bro, we've survived a lot. Big up hit the like button if you survived that thing, man. That United win got to your players' heads. Didn't win a game 3 months after that. Trust me, man. Do you know what it is? Part of his pockets must have just been too heavy, man. You know, Pogba's what, 6 foot plus, however much pounds he is. You know, can't be easy running around with all of that. DG, what do you think of Babakar Kamara in midfield? I like him a lot, but I don't really know what midfielder he is. It's weird watching him in France, really. I like him though. The recruitment has been spot on, off the pitch. Just the character of the team alone has impressed me. Hopefully, we can build on that fact. I mean, this was the one summer when we're looking at it, it's like, all right, cool. Like, it's actually decent now. It's actually all right now, you know. We'd have to cherry pick and say, all right, cool, maybe, you know, you could have got Torreira and Bellerin off permanently. Like I said, cherry picking, you know, maybe you could have got a backup keeper and dealt with the Leno thing. Maybe we could have moved away from the over-reliance on Xhaka, and I think this was a summer to do that, and that's actually something I was disappointed with. But as you said, we're doing the thing. Great job. Keep rising, DG. Edison Alvarez from Ajax. Decent player, but myth, bro. Yeah, G1, you like that one, innit? I had to, man. I had to. I was thinking quickly, how can I get this cheeky brother back? And I see the Pogba display picture. 2021, Pogba still doing that. Weren't that the year he left on a free? Deja vu, because he might be leaving for free this year. I had to, man. Man said, Dani Ceballos, please no, stay in Spain. Craziest thing is, many of us found DG Nation during those dark times. I appreciate you lot, man. Would prefer you lot to find it in good times, but yeah. I remember sitting here after streams and you're sitting there staring in silence. Like, and spare a thought for me, because them times there, you lot, you know, could just erase it. I'm having to watch the game twice, 3 times because you lot want tactical reviews and all of these things. Bro, the Man United game was nice, but I think them games there sum up Lacazette. I don't think Lacazette has been worth 52 million, but he's been a good player. And I think them games there is a bit like, even to a degree, Leicester, where he worked. I don't want to praise a man for working hard, but he worked hard. He was my man of the match, United away, but ultimately there's no goal or assist. So again, when we get to these times, not going to remember. And that's why I'm actually on keeping Lacazette. And if Lacazette leaves, you need a striker. But I don't think a man was worth 52 million. People saying anything less than 4th is a failure is looking at the name Arsenal, not the current squad. True. Oli and Arteta and Oli survived. I don't even think Oli survived. There's no way Oli survives that run that I just showed you with Arteta. No way. No way. No way. And again, I don't know. Maybe United fans have had a Kalas run like that, but I don't think you have. No way. I have to admit, I'm starting to see the Arteta way. It's slowly coming through. Players seem to understand their roles more. Still early doors, but moving in the right direction. For me with Arteta, I'm a bit different because I do believe in his managerial credentials. The things that are impressing me with him is, first things first, I am seeing a bit of yeah, we're a family. It's an Arsenal thing. You lot are the players, I'm the manager. But I'm seeing a bit of, okay, cool. At the end of the day, my job is going to be on the line. And I think that wasn't always reflected. And I'm seeing that with a bit more emphasis on not without merit, but playing the same players, playing, not messing about with the defense, not persisting with underperforming players, like even being harsh. But the last couple of games, Odegaard and Smith Rowe was doing his thing. Odegaard looked like a passenger, saying nothing, dropped. I'm seeing a bit of this. I'm seeing him. For me, he's dealing with the fitness of Partey a bit better. It's still not the end of the season, but I'm seeing more clarity. And I think a lot of these things he needed to do last year. I think that's the only thing with me. He's got a bit of that Pep Guardiola thing where he's susceptible to overcomplicating things. And the wickedest thing for me with Arteta, with my biggest thing, is something that goes above him now. It's this guy's clearly got some sort of, minerals as being a gaffer. But if he's just left to his own devices, same way we ask him to ask the players why they're making mistakes, if he's not being asked of stuff, if we've got a disillusionized owner and Edu them times there don't know what he's on and what he's doing, that's where I'm like, all right, cool, you're not really going to get the best out of him. This is how a man just makes his mistakes, get his praises, and then just F's off to our next club, where we've done with certain players in the past, we've developed a player for our next team. As I always say, we've been growing the best mangoes, and we've never actually just at the end of it when it's ripe, we've never plucked the mango and tasted it. Someone else has always finessed it. So I do think Arteta has in dribs and drabs showed his system. And to be fair, you have to keep it true. You can't be vocal in condemning a man and then, silent in the praise. I do think some of the condemnation of Arteta has been OTT apart from that run. I do think some of the praise even currently is OTT. I think there needs to be a bit of a balance, but you can only comment on what you see. Right now, he's showing you things to get behind. He's showing you evident management. Some certain periods, he's showing you that it's looking a bit mad. What I want to see is us score a bit more goals, create a bit more chances, game management, shut out the team a bit more. I would like to see a lot of that off the players back as well, because I think the players don't solve things out themselves enough as well. And I don't even think it's due to just being young, because you lot might be young. A lot of you have played enough games now to know that, okay, hang on, we keep finding ourselves in this scenario. Let's stop doing certain things, if that makes sense. Big up yourself, John as well, John Darren. All the top managers are gone, DG. Boy, you have to make a top one, innit? I hear you. Sounds like he needs a much older second coach / assistant on his. I mean, I have to big up the assistants. It's looking like something's working now, but that's just it. That's just it. Obviously, let's just use me. I mean, I might have all the potential on YouTube as it is, but if I'm like just left to my own devices and you lot are not like, yo, DG, you should try this, you should do that, improve this, you're talking shit here, you're talking sense there. I'm just going to be left into my own devices. I'm not going to get to potential. And you lot in your jobs as well, I'm sure, or in your lives, I'm sure you've got friends, family, maybe professionally or whatever, that it seems like they're moaning or whatever, but they got the best interest and they're asking, why aren't you doing things? We all need that. And I'm not sure if Edu does that, because I think Edu and Arteta, I don't know, it's looked at times like you scratch my back, I scratch yours. I do think Edu is, if anything was to happen, he would get the clip. I think the club fuck with Arteta more than Edu sort of thing. And even Edu, I forgive him his flowers. I don't know how much flowers, because when I'm reading athletic articles, apparently, I give you credit for getting the job done and bringing these players in, but we heard you wanted Neto. Arteta wanted Ramsdale. Now, Neto might have been a madman, but probably not. We hear, you wanted Emerson Royal. My man wanted Tomiyasu, one of them ones. We actually hear he's fucking with Saliba, and Arteta might not be, allegedly. I think I got the article there somewhere. So it's one of them ones there, innit? So I don't know if I have to praise him, man. It's one of them. It's one of them ones, really. If I'm completely honest. You know very little about football. Seems you smoked something before you come on loan. Tone, I appreciate that, but you need to ask yourself, if you think someone knows very little about football, why are you wasting your internet, your mother's internet, the job center funded internet, replying to me or commenting? Think about it. If you don't see something of intelligence, why have you formulated a sentence and commented? So where we now we're both staring at the screen. I might know very little, but you lack self-awareness. So again, we must be two peas in a pod as to why we're here. Hit the like button and subscribe, my guy. I know you do. And to your baby mother watching to the left or right, I know Tone's a bit of a cone, man. I know. Don't worry, man. When you lot of fucking, you know, picture my voice and my face, and people deluded. I don't smile, B. He's gonna be on a madness. He's gonna be on a madness. Come on, man. Don't know what you're on there, Tone, but it don't make sense, man. And if I don't smoke, but I'll smoke with you, bitch. Up the star dog on the rest. But yeah, let's keep it. Let's keep it PG, man. Let's keep it PG, Tone. Tone, gonna shout your baby mama for that dome. But yeah, do your thing, man. Do your thing, my guy. You do your thing. Big difference between players not being tactically good enough and being technically good enough and tactics not being suitable for players picked or poor against our next opponent. Jury is out. I wish Arteta luck. And I mean, fair play with that. It's not even a swift reply. I just don't know what Donny's on. Like, bro, he deleted it, but he just knows, boy, man used the internet and all the gigabytes that go into sending messages. Now strangers across the world are laughing at you. Like, it don't make sense. Come on, man. Respect yourself. You mug. You absolute mug. I know a lot of these comments and I find it funny. Everyone's allowed their opinion, but boy. Furthermore, suck your mum on that as well, man. It's a disrespectful thing today, man. Like, appreciate everyone who's here anyways. Hit the like button, Hit the like button for Tone. Tone, don't worry, man. Chest pain is calm. If I had Ray Neff on deck, I'll back a shot for you. Giving that pussy your energy. And I don't mind, because people like Pep Guardiola say they know nothing about football, as I've said before. So who am I? Edu is too young. Need Bielsa to retire as a manager and give Arteta some help. For me, I want to. Do you know what? Yeah, it's working in it, but I would prefer generally, if we're going to do the young manager thing, then you have an experienced technical director who can know which players to finesse and whatnot, because there might be a little midfielder out there that we can go and grab. What is the assistant even using his earpods for? What is he listening to? He's probably listening to us, man. Why not? Arteta's feelings about Martinelli and Saliba, in my opinion, are the same. Great athletes with great potential, but not the most seasoned football. They got to develop, and you can't be just giving man starting for the sake of it, man. I appreciate that. But he probably does suck it, Cam. That's why he's hating on man, bro. He knows nothing about ball, but he's a coach. Bro is getting gradually more pissed London vibes. Do you know what it is? It's not even that. It's like, bro, I can ignore things, but you said for the guy, I have to send back, man. Yeah, focus. But it makes it. Come on, it's never too early, bro. It's never too early for violence. What's up, DG? Where do you think Arsenal should recruit? And do you think Mikel's talent ID is perfect? Well, I wouldn't say perfect, because somebody signed off on Cedric, Willian, all of the guys we're trying to eliminate from our mind. So I wouldn't say it's perfect, and I haven't seen anything to suggest his or someone else's is perfect. But based on this summer, I have to say it's been perfect, and he's got it spot on. As I was just saying, apparently Edu wanted, this is what the Athletic wrote, and we've spoken about this. The Athletic was saying that, Arteta wants Ramsdale, Edu wants Neto. We got Ramsdale. Look how that one's working out. My man wanted Emerson Royal, who could turn into a madness under Conte. And a lot of fans, was looking at him. But Arteta wanted Tomiyasu. I'm seeing why. I don't know if there was another centre back, but Ben White. I don't quite see why we bought Ben White, but he's doing all right. And off the basis of he's formed a better partnership than we probably saw last season with another centre half at the club, I can say I've seen why. So Lokonga, obviously, there was a time. Lokonga's probably out of all the signings now, the one that we're looking at and say he's probably got to do the most. But there was a time we probably gassed the most of him. So this summer, the recruitment's been fantastic. I would say the only way I marked the summer down once again is we brought in 2 midfielders. Did we? No, we didn't. I might be lying. Well, yeah, Odegaard was signed technically, so there is 2, Odegaard and Lokonga. But I felt this was a chance to really, I wouldn't say exile Xhaka, but that midfield, that starter role, can we get someone better? Or can we get someone that can do that to a better standard? For me, do things quicker, but it wasn't to be. So I would say the talent ID ain't been perfect, but last summer was more or less perfect. But again, building blocks, bro. Building blocks, and all those good things, man. Appreciate everybody that's locked in, even these idiot trolls and whatnot. I told you, haters can't stop, man. Dislikers can't stop, man. You get me? We're here. Versus Arteta's, let's call it Arteta's talent ID / recruitment. Let's call it that. One love to everybody that's tuned in, people. Let me put this. And again, like I said, 5:20 today. Make sure you follow me on Twitch. Malmo versus Chelsea. 7:45 p.m. This is all UK time. So those of you that are not in the UK, use your common sense and adjust the time clock. Manchester United versus Atalanta, people. So yeah, I'm only putting my phone on charge because after this live stream, man, they might go gym and that, get a little workout in and them things there, man. But yeah, man. I agree generally if Martinelli can get games, but I feel Martinelli's going to get his opportunity. If not next season, let's loan. But I think there's opportunities for a couple man in January to get opportunities, man. He got his 1 minute of fame, but now he's in DG history for being a dickhead. But yeah, anyways, let's move on, man. Like my man said, let's not focus on that anymore. Let's stay focused. Let's stay focused. I feel like Ben White now. I'm concentrating defensively. I've brought it out from the back, gone in the dribble, and now I don't want to defend anymore, really. So let's get back in. Let's get back in. Let's get back in, bro. Fuck at age, man. In that sense, I don't know if you're a child or a grown man. If you're talking nonsense, bro, have to get set on. Not a violent guy, but I just feel the internet lets people talk too much, man. Like, wash your lip, you stop with the nonsense. Like, some of you have never got bang dropped in your face, and it shows. Not a lot of exciting Champions League games this week, eh? Hey, to be fair to you, man, that's a bit harsh. You've got Liverpool Atletico. You know, the sequel is never typically as good as the first movie, but you got that. You got Benfica, Bayern Munich there. You know, you've got 5:45 tomorrow. You've got Wolfsburg, Salzburg, and you also a couple games there, man. Would you take Guendouzi back? Yeah, but it's probably time to just let that one go, man. It's just has to go, man. Thoughts on Steve Round? To be fair, I don't know. It's hard to have opinions on. I can have an opinion on someone like the set piece coach. It looks like we're moving mad with the set pieces, but it's really hard to have an opinion on Steve Round, on the Earpod Donny, on all these guys behind the scenes. If I don't know what you're doing realistically, I don't know how hands on or hands off Arteta is. I don't know how much he delegates tasks to you on the training ground. You know, I remember there's an individual coach that's literally in charge of improving players individually. At a time, I couldn't see that. So I'm saying, what's going on? But if Arteta is not delegating enough time for you to work with someone on an individual basis, it's not going to improve. So I can't really have an opinion on the backroom staff. I would have to say, like Arteta, they deserve their plaudits because it's not just Arteta doing a bag of things. So yeah, man. Question for DG Nation, so you lot can answer. Now that Conte is the new manager of Tottenham until 2023, will the lot down the street win a trophy in his 18-month contract? I think so, man. Man said Carrick has earphones as well. Oh, man. Oh, man. Man said he's a DJ beginner. Well, YouTube is the worst for you. I've never seen that kind of crap on Twitch. I can sit here without being a mod and enjoy the chat. Cause people can behave themselves, man. Bro, exactly. People, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it, bro. But that's how some people are. DG, what can make this Arsenal side more of a treat and more balanced? I think you mean threat. And how will Arsenal replace Lacazette with what we're doing? It's like Lacazette is part of it and his contract's running out. I mean, just sign another striker in it. Ideally, someone that can hold up play. I would say sign an upgrade on Lacazette. I mean, look for the more Aubameyang replacement. Aubameyang can drop down for a year if that's the case. And then, loan out. If you can get Eddie to sign a new deal, sign a new deal, loan him out, see what can happen with Balogun. Start Project Martinelli through the middle, see where they're at in 12 to 18 months, or if not, bring in the next man. And for Arsenal to go to the next level, it's the obvious, without talking about signing players, more consistency, making the things we're currently praising them about the minimum, them sort of things there, the obvious. In terms of recruitment, for me personally, we lack goals. And I think a lot of it is down to the system. So Arteta's got to do a bit more. But if we could get a midfielder who wants to dictate the tempo of the game and always wants to find people, if you could get one on top of that who might be able to score goals, if you can go and bring a striker or a wig or an inside forward into this club, it probably would help us out a tenfold in that regard. So these are the things I would be angling for. These are the things I would be looking at. But Truthfully don't know. Hit the like button if we haven't hit that already, people. Make sure you're setting your reminders for Champions League watch-alongs this week. Again, I actually haven't uploaded the one for tomorrow, but I've done the thumbnail. That's the Atalanta Man United one. Even if you can't be there, please do me a favor and hit the like button, people. It does bits. So it is where it is where that's concerned. Scrolling all the way down. What else you lot saying? Sign someone who can head the ball. To be fair, we've headed the ball in the last 4 games. Wenger as technical director, I wouldn't mind it, but he's probably too emotionally attached to the club. That watch along was amazing, bro. Who said that though? Fair play, Saka. But that's what I want to see. To be fair, it's like 25-1. How many times have I said Saka struggling to take a corner and he didn't score? He must have heard me, or someone in the fans was playing my video, because the minute I said that, he sets one up. But that's what I want to see. Make me eat humble pie. Saka's a bad boy. Saka, Pepe, Smith Rowe set up one the other day. Man have to learn how to take corners consistently, and I like it because we've only been asking for a year or two, and I think it's no coincidence as well. We're still doing the short ones on occasion, but we're bloody putting it into the box. No coincidence. We're putting it into the box. We're trying. If you send the text, there's a receiver, versus this. Let's play it short, and then we play it on the edge of their area, and it goes backwards, and we might give it to the center half on the edge of the halfway line, goes all the way back to Leno or Ramsdale. Then we've done their defending for us. It's no coincidence. Put the ball in the mixer. Try and find their weaknesses, as we did. I think one thing I liked about Gabriel's goal, and we spoke about on the tactical review, check that up as well, people. Ben White makes a run, and Ben White actually blocks off. I can't remember if it's Telemans or Samore. One of them loses their run, not their man, in Gabriel. Why they're marking him, I don't know. Ben White blocks one. In the same incidents where Ben White is blocking off one, Gabriel's used him as somewhat a shield, and he's gone through unmarked, can get the proper run up on the header. Jamie Vardy don't see him coming. No coincidence. He dunks on him from that header. So this is what I wanted to see. It's no coincidence, now we're seeing what the set piece coach is happening, or maybe the set piece coach has been telling these men this and they haven't been listening. I always think that a lot of the time, really. So it's one of them ones, really. Appreciate it. Is FM any good? I mean, to find out my thoughts on FM, big up everyone who follows me on Twitch. Make sure you're following there. Make sure you're checking out, the FM content. I've got a couple I could release right now as well, but I'll give you the... Come on. I'm trying to promo. We're being shameless with the plug-in here. There's a whole playlist. And people, you don't need to start checking out the playlist where I put the videos into. Get in the habit of checking that, as well as the YouTube community tab. He keeps on playing Luke Thomas. To be fair, Luke Thomas seems to give us trouble. I like him, man. Yesterday, I was watching after a match, and I heard Chris Wilder saying he was going to call Ramsdale and give him some advice. It's something that should give Arsenal more confidence with Ramsdale. What advice? Come on. All right, FM, I don't want to ruin it, but that was a madness yesterday. Shout out to United for trying to match fix and cheat, and I can't believe no one can tell me Football Manager are not on a match fixing thing. Some of the stuff that I saw in that game yesterday, I was getting a penalty. Like, guys are not even near the area, and they're getting a penalty. I got shagged. I was done with that game at that stage. So yeah, if we lost against Liverpool, I'd have been done, man. But yeah, away from all of that though, people. A legendary. Hey, a man asks, have I thrown the water bottles on FM? Well, that's the go-to thing, man. I think it's lit, but I'm always gonna say that I love FM Football Manager, so I'm always gonna say it's good, innit? The only thing I don't like is I actually haven't started off my own private save. I've only been playing it with you lot. I need to do that, but I can't lie, people. We've been waffling for a minute, Again, I know you lot are tired of hearing all of these things and whatnot. Such is Arsenal's fall from grace. As I said, there was a time people picked us over Liverpool. Look at where it's gone. Breaks my heart every time I see this. Suarez explains why he wanted to leave Liverpool for Arsenal. As you know, he tried to force a move because he wanted to play in Europe's top competition. Once again, the man just wanted to play in it. He didn't want to even win it at this stage. He just wanted to play in it. So we could have had him for like a year or two. We would have made our little profit. Arsenal tried to be smart and do this 40 million and £1 thing. Look like twats and whatnot. Talk about how Nuno took your internet, bro. Yesterday he clapped it. Thoughts on Sander Berge, DG? Decent player. Beyond that, not much to it. Why don't you play FIFA career mode? I don't have PS5. If you'll purchase that for me, or you lot will raise the engagement levels and donations and whatnot, we can make that happen. But anyways, Luis Suarez, man, obviously, ultimately, it didn't happen. He said, I think I'd have been at Liverpool for a year and a half when Brendan Rodgers took charge in July 2012. Back then, I had opportunities to sign for other clubs who were getting in contact with me. But he phoned me when I was in Uruguay on holiday to tell me that he had another way of thinking, that he wanted to change the club and its philosophy, that he wanted the club to get back into the Champions League and fight to win big trophies, that he was going to make the team play great football. I mean, he didn't do that at Liverpool. He asked me to believe and trust him. I enjoyed the chat. I liked his conviction, the philosophy he wanted to implement at the club. So I talked to my agent and the club to say that I didn't want to leave, that I wanted another opportunity to be successful at Liverpool. That year wasn't as good as we wanted, but ideas were already pretty clear. So then the 2012 season goes by, and I wanted to sign for Arsenal since Arsenal had always played in the Champions League every season prior to that. Don't recognize that Arsenal, obviously. You know, he scored 82 goals in 133 appearances. He went to join Barcelona. Everything worked out. So yeah, man, that's what Luis Suarez has had to say, man. It would have been amazing to have you for a year. I'm sure there was a year Giroud went on a drought among them time there. If we had you, something else might happen, but it's a myth, man. It wasn't meant to be. So have to hold that one up. Simple as that. Really and truly. And then away from all of that, people, I don't think I've actually specifically said the latest on Unai Emery. Those of you that were on Twitch, you obviously did see it. But in relation to him, apparently Newcastle read it out. Newcastle expect to appoint Unai Emery as their new manager before their weekend clash with Brighton, with the Spaniard set to leave Villarreal to take over at the richest club in world football. Funny how things work out. And for me, Emery, not too much, but I want you to shut up a lot of critics as well. Apparently, they're expected to conclude this deal in the next 48 hours where Unai Emery is concerned. Apparently, about 5 million is going to be paid in compensation to Villarreal. Apparently, talks accelerated on Sunday after Zoom calls. Newcastle have to act quick. The man, they are fighting relegation. Their interim manager said it as well, people. Joe Willock, Unai Emery reunion and things like that. Take Xhaka with you if you're on this. So it's due to be mad. And I know he's won. Well, Unai Emery won the Europa League for Villarreal, but this season it's been anything but plain sailing as well, people. If you're honest with you, they sit 11th. Well, they were not 11th. Sorry, they've spent more than any other Spanish team under him, and have 2 La Liga wins from 11 this season. Boy. And the thing is, there's no structure currently at Newcastle. And with respect to Emery, he's not the best communicator. Forget the language. He's just not the best communicator. So there might be issues where that's concerned. So we'll see how that one's developing. So you could have Fonseca, Unai Emery joining Conte and being managers, new managers, quote unquote, for Conte a return, but new managers in the Prem. New Newcastle manager. What a way of putting that. New Newcastle manager. So yeah, it is what it is where that's concerned, people. EA might lose the license to FIFA. About time they're milking players to spend money on coins and packs. Underrated winner Emery. Can't believe Emery's bout is only 5-6 million. I think they're just buying up his contract, man. I like Emery. I would have been mocking us. But Emery had a touch of class. That's why it used to piss me off when he was treated like a bit of a dickhead by the media and made to look like a bit muggy and that, where it wasn't a that thing. 272 likes, people. Very appreciative of that. Hey DG, unrelated. Have you seen Ian Wright's interview on YouTube? You should. If you haven't, sure you will love it. Meanwhile, keep up the great content. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Appreciate that. One love to Ian Wright, but yeah, I'm gonna take a pass on that for today. Don't have time for that, man. At this moment, appreciate that. What else is happening where Arsenal's concerned? Let me see. Can vote for your player of the month for October, people, on Arsenal.com for Arsenal's player of the month. Who has the candidate? Smith Rowe, Gabriel, has to be Ramsdale completing that. Who else is there? You've got Aubameyang as well. It's a bit harsh. Aubameyang ain't winning that, but who am I voting for? Oh, who should we vote for, people? Who should we vote for? Who should we vote for? Oof. Ramsdale, I hope you win it, but I'm voting for Gabriel, man. Bro, reminding man what you're on. Important to our defense. It is Ramsdale, but it's got to the point where Ramsdale's just going to get breaded for everything he's doing. I'm honest with you. So I think it's been no coincidence. Gabriel returns. We look sick again. So I'm going to vote for Gabriel personally. Oh, why do you need bare information to vote these days? Bare info. Yeah. No. Sorry, folks. I'm just casting my vote. Because if I don't do it now, I'm not doing it. So yeah, that's me casting my vote. You know, I'm gonna go on a proxy browser and whatever, and vote again. Rambo, Ramsdale, all my boys. Arteta manager of the month for Prem again. I don't know about none of that. Is that one even out? Is the voting out for that one? Seeing the Conte thing. I mean, he's got to be up there. Ramsdale has a shout. Ramsdale. Well, I think Ramsdale's winning it with you lot. Gabby, Ramsdale. Yeah, but I think there's been a revision of history under Emery. Emery played some dull football. People just say he finished fifth and got Europa League final. He finished fifth, but how much points did him and the boys shank up with his overcomplication of tactics, just like Crystal Palace at home? Got to the Europa League final. I blame the players for that final for what it's worth, but you know, he needed to keep it moving. Like, we got to be real with ourselves. Arteta is a bit of a spoiled kid and whatnot, but yeah, Tuchel deserves it as well. Probably will get it. At the end of the day, his team's top of the league. Can't not, you know, not get it, if that makes sense. We've got to get the Gab Mag agenda moving. We've got to build him an intimidating aura like the other elite centre backs have. Right now, he's just known as a gamer. I don't know about that. I think Gabriel's a beast on the football field, but fair play. And I call him Ramsdale superhero. Fair play. He's somewhat, isn't it? But make sure you lot in general, when he makes that first mistake, you lot remember what he's done for the club and the mistake he's made. It all changes at the blink of a hat at Arsenal Football Club. Latest rumours, Lacazette's not signing a deal. Fans want Declan Rice. Ramsdale spoken. What's he said? All right, let me just check that I ain't read this before, people. And this is what you see why Ramsdale. This is why I rate Ramsdale. This is, you can tell a man that's played football when there's results needed. You know, whether it's been at Wimbledon or it's been fighting relegation with Sheffield United. Because again, you know, Ramsdale, he ain't said anything to get excited about, but Ramsdale speaks on top four chances. You know, and hopefully he's speaking for the, and this is why I've said already, it's more a testament of how the club's been moving in the last few years. But in the same way, when Tierney walked through the door, and I still maintain it, he has a captain shout and probably should be the captain. Ramsdale therefore got to be captain, vice captain, hold some sort of clout in the dressing room already, man. I'm, you know, at 23 years of age, moving mad. But Aaron Ramsdale explains why Arsenal stars haven't discussed top four chances. You can't count your chickens before they hatch. If you can't put 5 to 10 games together, you can't talk about top four. You need to earn the right to speak about top four. But apparently he was asked, he replied, no, we haven't really had a discussion. We've got a young team and of course the aspirations are getting into the top four. But first and foremost, we have to keep this form going. As soon as we start getting ahead of ourselves, our form will drop at the first chance. It's nice to be mentioned within that category, but we're still a work in progress. Form's great at the moment, but we know there's a lot of work we have to do. We have to continue doing such, I think. A lot of people in the news say that I've set my sights on the England #1 and stuff. Of course, that's the end goal. But Sam Johnson and Jordan Pickford over the last 2 camps have played the games. So first of all, I've got to get that cap, which is true, which hopefully Southgate is seeing that you deserve it now, whether it's ball playing or whatever. He said, to be honest with you, it's all about playing well with Arsenal. I think the England stuff comes when you play well for your team. And that's it. Handle your business. The rest takes it. You know, it's going to be very hard. Jordan's been phenomenal for England. I thought he was one of the, if not the best players for us at Euro 2020. And to be fair, Pickford did have a good tournament, but I'm sorry, I think Pickford's shit, bro. I think you're actually good. I know you got to do the diplomat thing, but fuck Jordan Pickford. You need to take that #1. You can take that #1. Just keep working. And it's not just him. It's an open spot, I think. I've said that about England's #1 vacancy, if I'm completely honest, people, with you guys. Did you write that response? Sounds like you, bro. Nah. Ramsdale made me smile the whole last game. He has a connection with Gab. He has a great connection with Gabby already. Would you bring in another centre back in the summer, DG? Personally, I'd shift Chambers and Marie to bring in someone along with Saliba. Why not, man? Why not? To be fair, Tuchel's a Champions League winner. DG, would you take Ceballos back? And do you think Mikel is going to be added finances in the January window? Gabriel should be player of the month. I will take him back if we're desperate. Again, if we're desperate. But other than that, stay clear. And listen, they have to help. They have to bring in a midfielder. Don't get complacent. Bring in a midfielder. Interesting comments, man. They trust. They still got. They look more. Do you know the funniest thing? Chelsea look more like goal scorers without them in their team, really. And Havertz has kind of been taking the day off and things like that. But I can't lie, people. With it being 12 minutes past 1, I'm gonna get out of here. You know, I'm gonna want to quickly go gym, come back, have a shower in time, and obviously prepare for the 5:20 watch along, which is over on YouTube. Again, people, please make sure you're hitting the like button for Atlanta versus Manchester United at 8 p.m. Well, 7:45 over here in the UK, as you lot can see here. If it will share, come on. Don't make me look silly in front of everyone. You've got that one there as well. Shout out to everyone who's hit the like button so far. Again, 5:20 over on Twitch. Again, I can't imagine you're not, but if you're not, follow the thing on Twitch. Shout out to everyone who was in the last streams and whatnot. Football Manager FM. You know, watch alongs also here. As you can see, we did Aston Villa, West Ham. So make sure you're supporting across both platforms, people. It is what it is. I think Aaron Ramsdale is a world-class player. Yeah, I'll take your opinion on that. He's been in for 30 seconds. Let's let him keep developing. I hear you, though, man. Hit the like button if you haven't. You know, see you lot later. Again, you lot make me not want to leave, man. You lot bringing tears to my eyes, man. Jeez. Not being in Europe in this season is a blessing in disguise for our boys. Let's see come May, personally. It might be, though. But on that note, hit the like button. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Make sure you're, moving that much closer to your goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. I'm loving and leaving you lot. See you at 5:20 on Twitch. See you at 7:45 over here on YouTube. I'm out. Always that active red light, defending. I think it's like